Welcome to MoreThanTheGames.com's extensive Vancouver 2010 coverage. I'm Samuel Green, and the 21st Winter Olympics kicked off with an extravagant opening ceremony at Vancouver's BC Place on Friday. But the ceremony was overshadowed when the shocking news was announced that Georgian luger Nodar Kumaritashvili was tragically killed in a horrific accident while training for tomorrow's runs. International Olympic Committee President Jacques Rogge confirmed the 21-year-old's estimated 150 km/h crash proved fatal in a tearful press conference alongside Vancouver Organising Committee Chairman John Furlong. A tribute at the ceremony was dedicated to Kumaritashvili, and Georgian team officials vowed their 7 other athletes will devote their performances to their fallen comrade. Earlier that morning, the 106-day Olympic torch relay drew towards its conclusion, with Arnold Schwarzenegger passing the torch to Lord Sebastian Coe. The maple leaf flag was raised by members of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police to get proceedings underway, and a snowboarder performed a spectacular trick through the Olympic rings. 4 totem poles were raised to signify the 4 host nations of the Indigenous Canadian people, who then welcomed 2,500 athletes to their lands with native dancing. A black ribbon adorned the flag of Georgia in memory of slider Nodar Kumaritashvili, and the team wore black armbands as they received a standing ovation for their unity in what was clearly a difficult time for their nation. The strong German squad will be aiming to top the medal table once again after their success at Turin 2006. And the hosts, with the final nation out, proudly applauded by Prime Minister Stephen Harper. British Columbia's own pop princess Nelly Furtado and rock legend Bryan Adams performed to an electric crowd as the ceremony concluded with a stunning musical dancing finale, a 50-foot spirit bear rising from the floor, and visual representations of Canada's natural elements. Flags flew half-mast during a moment's silence for the young Georgian slider before the Olympic torch was finally lit by 4 torchbearers, signifying the beginning of Vancouver 2010. Prior to the opening ceremony, the men's ski jumping competition got underway at the Whistler Olympic Park. Germany's Michael Uhrmann claimed top qualifying score with 138.5 points and a distance of 106 metres. The 31-year-old, who took 4th place in Turin 2006, finished ahead of fellow countryman Michael Neumeier in the normal hill event. The 10 automatic qualifiers were in practice, with Austrian Gregor Schlierenzauer jumping the longest distance of the day at 107 metres, while Swiss challenger Simon Ammann loosened up with a leap of 103 metres ahead of tomorrow's first round and final.
Here's all the news from Great Britain's skiers, sliders and skaters in Canada, brought to you in association with Lloyds TSB, proud partner of the London 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games and supporter of Team GB on their journey to Vancouver 2010.
Great Britain were led out at the opening ceremony by flag bearer and Whistler-based team captain Shelley Rudman. Britain's only 2006 medalist was followed closely by curling skip David Murdoch, who will captain the Vancouver-based athletes in Team GB's 52-strong squad. In other news, Shemi Olcott's preparations were hampered with the news that the women's super combined event will be rescheduled after poor weather in Whistler. And Day 2 will see action for speed skaters Elise Christie and Sarah Lindsay in the women's 500-metre short track heats. Day 2 highlights include the alpine skiing men's downhill final at Whistler Creekside, where firm favourite Didier Kusch looks to stave off challenges from Austria's 2006 silver medalist Michael Walchhofer and American contender Bode Miller. Freestyle skier Jennifer Heil takes to the slopes in search of a repeat gold in the women's moguls, an event which could see her become the first Canadian to win gold on home soil. Dutch skater Sven Kramer launches his quest for an Olympic speed skating treble by going for gold in the men's long track 5,000 metres. And in women's hockey, 2-time defending Olympic champions Canada begin their hunt for a golden hat-trick against Slovakia, while beaten 2006 finalist Sweden take to the ice against Switzerland.
For the latest news, interviews and behind-the-scenes gossip from Sportsbeat's reporters at Vancouver 2010, visit MoreThanTheGames.com. or follow us on Twitter @SportsBeat.